Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to Adobe Live's Holiday Week. So exciting to be here with you all. My name is Alice Lee. I'm an illustrator based in San Francisco and I am your host for this morning's drawing stream. Super excited to see everyone in the chat. Welcome in. If you're joining us live, please feel free to introduce yourself, share your name, where you're joining us from, and our random question of the day, since this week's streams are all holiday related, is when do you start putting up those decorations and setting up for the holidays? So when do you maybe, start putting up that Christmas tree or start listening to holiday music? I'm really curious because for me, I've had my Christmas tree up since the beginning of November. So I'd love to hear about how you celebrate and how early is too early. When do you start putting all that up? I want to say hi to all the viewers joining us in the chat. Welcome to Richard, Jack, Umacorn, Marcia, and our Sam, Mercurial Forte, Carol, hello everyone, Robert. Richard says that decorations are up as of Thanksgiving after dinner. So that would have been really recently for those of us who also do that. So I'm really excited to be a part of this week's Holiday Week streams. To give you a quick recap, basically what's going on this week is all week long, we have a full lineup of artists, designers, illustrators, videographers, photographers, etc. And we're all creating festive content and holiday related artwork in our streams that you as the viewer can then take into your homes and use as part of your holiday traditions. So I can, maybe go over today's schedule really quickly. Starting off in the morning, we've got me, I'm creating some holiday tree toppers, which I will explain in just a second. And then we have Kyle, who's drawing a coloring page that then you can, print out and have fun and draw in and color in. And then Andrew Hawk is going to be designing a holiday invite at noon. And then Howard is animating a holiday invite. And all of these assets, like I mentioned, you as the viewer can then take home, print out, or use digitally with your friends and family. So it's our gift to you. So that'll be very fun. Thanks to everyone who has answered my random question and also has introduced themselves. Let's see. Carol says that first they put up the Halloween wreath first, and then it's a two-sided wreath. One is for November, one is for December. Love that. So functional. Curtis said that they put up their Christmas tree up on Halloween. Love it. Early bird. Welcome into Lisa Craig, who says they just took a break from putting up their Christmas decor to watch. I love it. So if you're just joining in, like I mentioned, please feel free to introduce yourself, share where you're from. And right now we're sharing when we all start putting up our holiday decorations. It seems like we are on the earlier side for a lot of us in the chat. So before I get started working, let's check out what our creative brief for today is. Our creative brief today is to create a holiday tree topper. So these are fun little illustrations that you can put at the very top of your Christmas tree, like this little doggy. And traditionally, I think a lot of people put up like stars or, other types of ornaments, larger ornaments. But I thought it'd be fun to draw some of these, and then you can print them out and put them up on your tree. Or if you don't have a tree, or celebrate Christmas, then you can maybe put them in your windows or on your doors, on the walls, or even in a potted plant. That's what I've been doing. So I've already created 3 Christmas tree toppers or holiday decor that you can check out at the link that Wade has very helpfully put in the chat. And at the end of this segment, I will be going over a quick demo of how to assemble it, but it's very, very easy to put together, and you're totally welcome to print these out, put them around your house, and just spread the cheer. Hello to Annabella, who's joining us from Wales, UK. Christmas decorations going up in a couple of days for them. Jean O'Connor, who's joining us from Illinois. Hello. Monica Kana, Michael. Yeah. And thanks to Wade for, again, posting the link to the templates to these artworks that you can print out. If you share any of these, please feel free to tag me and hashtag Adobe Live Holidays on social. So let's get started with the drawing portion of the stream. So coming over to my Photoshop here, basically what I'll be doing today is I will be creating a 4th holiday tree topper. So I've already got a little sketch here. And you can see in my previous holiday tree toppers that I was just designing some fun characters that have a holiday vibe. And so if you have any suggestions on, little features to add or details to make it more holiday-y, please feel free to let me know. Like I've drawn a Totoro here with like a, scarf and a festive beanie. I also have this starry bear because I think at the top of a Christmas tree, having a star is fun. And a holiday puppy for those of us who love dogs. So my 4th design, I'm thinking will be this like fun whale, but the whale out of its spout is bursting out this like sun or star, which I think will look really cool at the top of a Christmas tree. And welcome to Whitney Napoleon, who says that this is their first time joining live. So another random question I have is, what are some ways that you like to celebrate the holidays? For me, my family celebrates Christmas, so we always do gifts. But I'm really curious about how the different ways that, others have holiday traditions. And as we share about that, I will be starting to work on this tree topper. So basically my process is I've done a quick black and white pencil sketch here, really rough. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity on it. I'm using my keyboard shortcut. So you just hit the number that you want the opacity to turn to, like I hit 1, which turns it to 10%. And then below that, I have another layer. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a larger brush. And then I'm just gonna start inking in the shape. And another way that I like to work is I also like to rotate my canvas because I feel like it's a little bit easier to have that like natural wrist motion when the canvas is rotated. So I don't have to rotate my arm as much. And I'm sort of just like flicking my wrist a little bit to get that shape. So yeah, just adding in the shapes here. Cool. So one thing I'm really excited for the holidays is just seeing family again. I think that we've all had to do a little bit more of a distanced holiday celebration in recent times. So it'll be fun to, like, for example, my dad's coming home from China. He's kind of been like stuck over there because of all like the visa stuff. So I'm really excited to see my dad. It'll be like the perfect Christmas reunion and celebration. So you can see here that I've started to outline my whale shape. And if anyone has any questions about the technical side of things that I'm doing here, definitely please feel free to ask. I also do a stream here for Adobe Live called Doodle Therapy, and we go into the technical painting side of things, especially with Photoshop. So I might be going a little bit fast. So, definitely let me know if there's anything that I'm skipping over. So as you can see here, I've got, the basic shapes of my whale down. And so I'm starting to add in more details like this whale fin. And I'm not, usually at this stage, I'm not worrying too much about the colors. I just want to get the shapes down. And then I know I'll finesse and polish those colors afterwards and kind of make them more harmonious with the final product. Patricia Legout asks, where can we get a brush like that? That's cool. Yeah, it's a great question. So In my brush panel over here, you can see that I have a bunch of brushes. Most of my brushes are actually from Kyle's brushes, which you can really easily access. What's the fast way to see Kyle's brushes? I think. Oh yeah, so the way you get these brushes for free if you have Photoshop is first open the brushes panel, which you can get to by hitting Window and then Brushes. Or a fast way that you can check things out is just hit Help Search and then just like type in the thing you're looking for. That's like my secret shortcut all the time. And then you'll see all your brushes, and then you can go to this hamburger menu and then click Get More Brushes, and then that will lead you to a page that has like all of Kyle's brushes that are accessible to Photoshop users. So you can see here that I'm using Kyle's Summer Brushes 2018, which are just like one of my favorites. I have a bunch here that are screen tones, his Mega Pack, iconic. So right now I think I'm using an inking brush. Oh, it's a square stamp, it's a brush tool. And then another thing that I like to do with my brushes is I like to just save them in my favorites. So I'll like duplicate them and then move them into this favorites folder, which I find is a really fast way to just like quickly get access to these brushes. So yeah, hope that answered your question, Patricia, and let me know if you have any more. Another thing that I can adjust is called the flow. So this is kind of like how like wet or dry your brush is. So like how fluidy it is. So you can see here, if the flow is lower, it's like not producing as much ink. But then if it's here, I have more of that texture to work with. So I'm going to set my flow to be pretty low here, and I'll redraw the fin that I took out. A question for the chat that I was just talking to my friends about is, I'm wondering, what are some like classic foods or music that remind you of the holidays? For me, and the reason why I was talking to friends about this is because for me, the thing that reminds me of holidays is like hot cocoa and the smell of pine. It just makes me think of Christmas wreaths and holiday decorations, Christmas trees, and just like, I just love the holidays so much. Like I'm actually really sad usually in January when the holidays are over, because I feel like everyone is just in a happy, festive, excited mood in the holidays. And then, yeah, it makes me sad that it's over and I have to wait a full year for it to come back. Sylvia says, cranberry and mistletoe remind them of the holidays. Yeah, that's great. Hi to Biola O, who has also been a Doodle Therapy viewer. It's great to see you again. So what I'm doing here is now I'm going to start adding in some of the textures and like sculpting the shape of the whale. So you can see here that I have this bottom layer of the whale. So I made a new layer on top of that. And now I'm going to create a clipping mask. And what that does is it clips all the pixels on that mask so that it cuts off when it's outside of the bounds of the layer that it's masked to. So you can see here, it's just clipped to this whale object. So that's great because what I actually want to do is paint in the belly of the whale. And that way you don't have to worry as much about getting this like precise edge, because you already did the work once. So no need to do it again. And then another quick thing I like to do when I've want to fill in a space really quickly is you can go in with like a paint bucket and then just do that. But sometimes it leaves like a little bit of this, you can see here, like this edging. So what I actually like to do is I'll do Magic Wand, which is W, select it, and then I'll expand my selection by like 4 pixels or something. And then I will drop in the paint bucket. And then that way it covers that edge that would have been left kind of jagged and not filled in. Yay! Cool, cool. Let's see. I'm curious if anyone has any fun holiday plans coming up, or how you plan to celebrate the holidays. For me, I'm going to New York for a work-related project, but I'll also be there over Christmas. So I'm really excited to see the city in that festive time of year. Welcome into Bliss Golden Rose. Hi. Today we are creating some holiday tree toppers. So as a recap for those who might have just joined, we are creating festive assets and artwork all week long here on Adobe Live. And so for today's segment, I am illustrating some of these fun little tree toppers that you can put at the top of your tree, or you can put in your windows or on doors or walls, just to be as fun holiday decor. Cool, so now I've added in the belly of the whale, so I'm gonna just like remove the sketch now, so that I could get a better look at the way that this is shaping up. So this is kind of feeling a little like too blobby to me, so I'm going to just go in and kind of, okay, edit that a little. Okay, I'll get to that in a sec. So now I think I'm gonna add the eye in of the whale, because then we can get some of the character set up. And I want this whale to look friendly. I think sometimes whales can look really grumpy just because of the way that just like the way that their mouths are shaped. So I definitely want to add a little bit of a smile. Patricia Legault says that they are staying home, enjoying the snowfall, and they're doing an early Christmas on Saturdays so that their in-laws can go to Florida because they're in Canada. Cool. What sorts of things are you doing? Do you normally do for your Christmas celebration? We haven't done presents under the tree in a really long time. Like that's something that I just remember from my childhood, but less so for my adulthood. I think we just like give each other we just hand our presents over to each other, which is possibly a little lamer. Whitney says that they'll be home this year enjoying family time. That's fun. And Robert says, hi from snow-covered Sweden. Fun. I wish that there was snow here. I'm in San Francisco, so it's pretty sunny today and there's no snow. Sometimes a lot of rain and fog. What kinds of foods do you guys normally eat when you celebrate the holidays? So for me, I'm Chinese American, first generation. So whenever we do Christmas celebrations or even like Thanksgiving or other holidays, it's always like a fun mix of Western traditional food and Chinese food. Like for Thanksgiving, you know how normally people eat like a turkey and potato salad and stuff like that. Like we did hot pot for 3 days in a row. Like I'm a little hot potted out. Like I've had 3 dinners in a row of hot pot and pumpkin pie for dessert. Pumpkin pie and mango sago for dessert. So it's always like a fun mix, I think. And then for Christmas, we usually do, again, some kind of mix of like Asian snacks and the Western tradition. So we'll do 葱油饼, which is like tasty bread. And then like maybe maybe some steamed fish. My favorite is like spicy Sichuan fish. That's my absolute favorite. I hope we have some for the holidays this year. My mouth is watering thinking about it. Bok choy, garlic, spinach, stuff like that. Shelly says that they love making and decorating sugar cookies at the holidays. Fun, fun. Do you have like special designs that you like to do? That could be a fun live streaming topic, is like designing a sugar cookie design that's holiday themed. So this eye, like the black is just a little too intense compared to the rest of the colors being used. So I think I'm just gonna soften it a little. I see a question in the chat from Michael asking, what eraser do I use? That's a great question. So I'm using this eraser. I don't think it's actually an eraser. I think I just took one of Kyle's ink brushes and just am using it as an eraser. Let's see what this is. I can't, unfortunately, tab over it. Oh, I think I'm using this brush that I've renamed to be Bumpy. Yeah, so that's another maybe learn from my mistakes sort of thing is I sometimes rename my brushes so that I like very quickly know what effect it is. So it's like, here I have like Bumpy, Lovely, Brushy Brush, Dry Brush, but then it loses the original name, which maybe has more clues about like who made it and also what material it is. So I would say if you're gonna do that, maybe just add like Bumpy to the beginning of the name, but don't like erase the rest of it completely. But yeah, I'm using this brush, this bumpier brush, and I like it because it adds a little bit of texture. Another consideration that I have, keeping in mind in designing these holiday toppers is, I'll show you in a bit, but the way that you assemble this is you have to cut out two mirrored images. So I don't want there to be too many like edges and grooves along the shape itself, because then it will be really hard to cut out. So I have to also think about like what's a nice simple shape that people can easily cut out as well. Oh, Robert says I must go taste a Swedish dish. Oh, well, please feel free to recommend a Swedish dish to me. I've also never been to Sweden before, so definitely let me know, like, what are the iconic classic Swedish holiday dishes, or just in general, that one should try out if I haven't, ever experienced Swedish cooking. At least I don't think so. Lisa Craig says that they made butter chicken and green bean casserole for Thanksgiving dinner. That sounds really good. And she says the house smelled really good. I don't think I've had butter chicken, but that sounds really good. But I don't think I've had butter chicken. I think if there's any like Asian Americans or like Chinese Americans in the chat, like you might relate to like, I think one year my family friends at one of our Thanksgivings, they cooked a turkey with soy sauce, but it was pretty good actually. So it's always like the traditions, but with like a twist. Whitney says that they're thinking about doing a chicken and veggie casserole. Yum, yum. Oh, Dorina says they're already getting ideas for a treetop for their niece's Christmas tree. Yeah, totally. So in case if anyone's come into the chat a little bit later on and missed my introduction, what we're doing is we're making these like really fun holiday tree toppers. And I'll show you in a second how to put them together, but it's really simple. You can find all of my templates already uploaded into the Adobe Live folder, which is in the description. And if you share it, please feel free to tag us at hashtag Adobe Live Holidays, and also tag me. I'm at by Alice Lee. Here, I'll just write it. Alice Lee. Yeah, tag me there, and then I will be so delighted to see. Oh my gosh, so many amazing food recommendations. Keep them coming, guys. Unicorn says Swedish meatballs. I think I've had that actually, maybe at IKEA. Is that what, maybe is that what they sell? They're really good. Swedish jewel board, then you are New York. I've never had that before, but I will be going to New York, so maybe I'll try to check that out. Shelley Hopkins linked to some tweed squares, a Newfoundland tradition. Thanks for linking that. Definitely will check that out. Yeah, so yummy. Love talking about food. So right now I'm trying to draw in this like water spout thing. Maybe this should go behind. But I'm actually really excited to draw this star. So I recently found out, actually while live on Adobe, about this really fun symmetry tool in Photoshop. So if you're in brush mode, so you hit B or you just click on this brush button, there's this like symmetry butterfly dude, and you can click on it, and there's all different types of ways that you can, you know, have symmetry. So this is like a spiral. We're obviously not making a spiral, but just to show you, there's so many cool little hacks. So for example, I can make this like radial mandala, which helps to make stars. And so here I've set up the center of it, and then I can just, oops, draw a star. But this is like so much easier. Oops, let's erase whatever's down here. Oh no, that was my layer. Okay, so this is fun because I actually want to do maybe a more complex star. So here you go. So I don't just want to do a 5-pointed star. I want to do kind of like a sun looking star. You know what I mean? Has like lots of different rays. So see that? So I know the colors look really funky right now, but don't worry, we will make them the appropriate color. Yeah, so wasn't that like so fun and easy? Like way easier than like either copying and pasting the pointy tips like 5 times or trying to eyeball it even, right? Isn't that cool? And we did that in like 2 seconds. So what I did really quick is I just changed the colors. My fast way that I like to do it is I'll just hit the backslash button, or I'll just hit this lock icon. So that locks all the pixels. And then I'll pick the color that I want in the color swatch. And then I have gradient set. So I just like pull a gradient on top of it. And then when you hit this like pixel lock thing, it locks the pixels to just what's already drawn on the layer. So I don't have to worry about like going outside again, the lines. And that's also really fun because then we can start messing around with lighting. So here, for example, I have the color down here, but let's say I want it to be a little bit brighter on top because it's a star with the light source coming from on top, which kind of, I think, gives it more of that like celestial look. So you can do that. And then this star that's behind, you know, then you can do that. And then we can start using the clipping mask trick that I showed earlier, where I've created a new layer. Now I've clipped it to that. And I'm just gonna start, oh, hey, my symmetry's still on. Okay, so I have to turn it off, symmetry off, same butterfly friend. And then I think I'm just gonna start like, you know what? Actually, I think I could use the symmetry for this. So I'm gonna turn the symmetry back on, 5 segments, line it up with our star. Actually, I think it has to be like this. Shelly says the star looks like a starfish. Yeah, starfishes are really cool. Love starfishes. Wade says that they love the symmetry tool. Talk about doodle therapy. They've spent several hours just doodling with that tool. It is very fun. Yes, very therapeutic for sure. Dorina says that they usually have at least seven meals at Christmas Eve, which are mostly nuts, fruits, salad, cooked beans, popcorn, traditional homemade bread, and no meat until after midnight. Not even a chicken. That is very impressive. Follow-up question, do you ever food coma? I food comaed really hard after my third hot pot dinner in a row, but in a good way. Oh, thank you so much to Robert for linking the Jewel Board restaurants. I'll definitely check that out when I'm in New York coming up. Another fun thing that I did over Thanksgiving was, so I downloaded, or I got a subscription to Disney Plus so that I could watch Shang-Chi, which was really good. And then I sort of fell down the MCU rabbit hole, and I literally watched 5 Marvel movies, as well as WandaVision and almost all of Loki, the television shows, in like 5 days. And I'm pretty obsessed. I'm someone who has not watched a single Marvel thing before that, except for like Iron Man. So I'm really obsessed. If there's any Marvel fans watching right now, like, please let me know what I should watch next. I'm like fully immersed in it right now. You know, the multiverse, the Avengers, all of that. Loki is really good. I'm on the last episode now. And I just can't believe like how such great storytelling, like, and character development was in these like superhero movies. It's really amazing. Yeah, Bliss says LOL. Yeah, so once again, I've never watched any Marvel movies before, so I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I'm fully down the rabbit hole now. I took a brief break from social media, like checking Twitter and Instagram and all that for the last few weeks, but I feel like I've just replaced my social media obsession with Marvel obsession, but I'm not like mad about it because they're actually amazing movies. So let me know if you have any suggestions for what to watch next. Umacorn says they're waiting for the Eternals. I also am waiting for Eternals, even though it didn't seem to be as well received, still psyched. Shang-Chi was really good. Totally agree with you, Lisa. Yeah, super excited. Wade would suggest checking out Hawkeye, which is also another TV series by Marvel. I feel like calling them a TV series just like doesn't do it justice. Like they're actually full-length movies, just made for a shorter TV format. But the production is like so good. Yes, so I think maybe like finishing out the last like 5 years worth of Marvel movies will take me to when Spider-Man is released in December. So now back to the Photoshop. I've finished using the Symmetry tool to make this fun star. Oops, didn't mean to move that. So I'm gonna select it, I'm gonna group it just so it's like easier for me to move around. Set my selection tool, which is V or this button up here to group. So then I can like move it around. You know what this reminds me of it reminds me of a Starmie, which is a type of Pokemon. And then I'm going to now add in the waves back here. Oh, I gotta turn off Symmetry. Oops. So yeah, I guess watching Marvel movies became my holiday tradition of sorts. But I'm in it now. Something that someone said in the chat reminded me of this for some reason. Since we were talking about holiday traditions. Ooh, I have a question. Since we're approaching the end of the year, which is like flabbergasting, what are some one thing that my friends and I like to do is we like to celebrate our wins. We call it Wednesday. We so usually do this on Wednesdays. And we just share things that we're proud of from the last year. So I'm really curious, what are some wins that you want to share and celebrate from this past year, whether it's professional, personal, big or small? I'd love to know. Always, the fun thing about being in the holidays is it reminds me of introspection and just reflecting on how the year has gone. One thing that my partner and I are excited to do is we're going to do some like goal setting for next year. So that's always really fun. So yeah, it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday actually, but Tuesday can be Wednesday too. I think for me, one thing I'm just proud of is like, just like surviving and like living my life and like being still, you know, adapting to this new style of like living. And like, now I feel like I'm kind of just getting the hang of it. And I'm just like proud that I'm just content now, and that feels really good. Something that I'm really excited about is my studio in San Francisco is hosting our first studio show in 2 years. So normally we do a show, an art show that is open to the community. It's usually like really busy and chaotic because it's just like open with no scheduling. It's like the whole weekend. And it's usually a lot of fun, but obviously we couldn't do that for COVID. Just it didn't seem very responsible to just be like community party, you know, in our tiny little office space. So we're bringing back our studio show this weekend and next weekend, but we're doing appointment only now. So it's more limited, but I think it'll be more fun and cozy. So actually, if you're in San Francisco, any of the next 2 weekends and you want to come by and say hi and come check out our creative space, but also some of the fun holiday projects that we are putting together, I will put the link in the Behance, or I'll just say it out loud and then maybe someone helpful can put the link in the chat. So it's calendly.com/lavenderlabs/IRL. Definitely let me know if you are in town. Would love to meet some fellow Adobe Live viewers in the community. Let's see. So this like water spout thing is kind of giving me some trouble because I feel like it'll be really hard to cut this out. So I need to figure out a way to simplify it and add a shape behind it. Or maybe this could just be the complex piece since the other three illustrations that I made are like kind of on the simpler side. So yeah. Whitney says Wednesday. Nice. Shelly says that they will celebrate Wednesday with their friends and colleagues. And Bliss says this year has been way more than they had ever even imagined, all because they got involved in the Behance community last year around this time. That's amazing, Bliss. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, I think streaming has also brought so many good things into my life too. Like I've just gotten to meet so many more people, kind of like related to that, like on this topic is like getting more active in Discord communities and like starting my own cute creative community on Discord has been really fun to just like meet all of the loose connections out there on the internet that like maybe you wouldn't have bumped into otherwise. So love that. A goal that I have, I've been talking about on the topic of like reflecting on the year. A goal that I have had and I've mentioned this on the doodle therapy stream before, is I would love to, excuse me, oh. I would love to write a book. I think that would be like a cool project. Maybe like a doodle therapy book, who knows? Some kind of book would be cool. That's been like a goal of mine for a while. Just didn't know how to go about it. Cool, so I think at this point where I am in the drawing is I'm gonna remove this sketch now. And now I'm gonna just start finessing the colors. Like things, the shapes are kind of there, but like things don't really look cohesive, you know what I mean? And we can actually use a little bit of color theory for this. So the blues that I've chosen, just really briefly, the blues I've chosen are more on the cool side. And what I mean by that is this is what I would consider a cool blue. And then like over here, you're bringing in more yellows, right? Into this blue, this bottom one. So it's warmer. And this yellow star is very warm. It's not a cool color at all. So it's creating, it's, I think, causing a little bit of like dissonance with your eye. With like the whale is cool, but the star, which is kind of like the main thing you're supposed to look at, is on the warmer side. So we need to resolve that. So a really quick way that I like to do that is I'll just pop up this hue saturation thing. So a quick way you can do that is just like I said at the beginning of the stream, you can search for things really quickly with the help search tool, hue saturation. And then I've actually set a keyboard shortcut to just pop this guy open. And then we can just start to like adjust the hue, which is up here. And the hue refers to like the color that we're actually using. So I want a warmer blue. And then that allows me to kind of just like start to blend things in a little better. Thanks so much to Wade for finding the link for my studio show. And that is absolutely the correct link. So yeah, if you're around and feeling up to checking out our space, or if you just want to say hi, definitely come by our studio. But it is appointment only, just for COVID reasons. So yeah, now I'm just going through and I'm warmifying all of these cool blues. I think I'm gonna make this a little darker. Hi, Dashana. Welcome in. So I don't know if any of you guys, were around yesterday, but hopefully you were to catch Shauna's awesome ornament stream. She was showing us her different ornament styles, like the dimensional and then the flat ornaments, which is really fun. I definitely have to try that out on my own tree as well. And as we're, sort of reaching the end of our stream, I just want to remind folks that what we're doing all week long here on Adobe Live is we are working on creating artwork that will help you celebrate the holidays with your loved ones. So in all of our streams, they're all holiday themed, and we are creating an asset that you can then use as part of your celebrations. So for our stream today, I'll just give you a quick look again. I have created these holiday tree toppers that you can stick at the top of your Christmas tree, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can, put them on your walls and your windowsills as little friendly guys. You could even put them in your potted plants, or maybe on your lawn if you have like not a lot of rain outside. Yeah, this will be fun. And then Wade, thank you so much, has also put in the link to the Adobe Live holidays festive assets section. So that's also where you can find Shauna's wonderful ornaments from yesterday as well. And then right now we are working on this whale. Actually, let me see if I can grab. Yeah, so I'll show you, we have these cool, you can use simple household items to just create the holiday tree toppers that I will show you a demo of in just a few minutes. Oh, Dorina asked, what size is my artboard? That's a great question. So my artboard is 8.5 by 11, and that's because the PDFs that I've put into the link that Wade has linked to are also PDF as well. So they are, are also printer size friendly as well. So they're 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11 and also 300 DPI. Let's see, so I kind of want to like, I feel like the sky needs a little bit of like holiday vibes, right? Like, would maybe adding a scarf, is that weird? Because it's like, why is this whale wearing a scarf? So sometimes I'll just like do this quick. Is that weird? Does it look like a shark now? Maybe a little bit. Or like a hat? I have this like a jacket on the little whale dude. I also feel like I have to maybe increase the size of this star or reduce the complexity, because compared to the rest of the illustration, it's kind of detailed. So let's see. The problem is that I just don't want this to be very hard for people to cut out. Maybe I'll toss this guy. Maybe I'll toss. Something like that. Oh, cool. Whitney says that they just purchased their son's first Christmas tree, so this will be right on time. Amazing. Yeah. Definitely, if you feel ever share this on social media, definitely tag us at Adobe Live Holidays, and my tag on all social medias is @byAliceLee. I would love to see it. Makes me happy. I've got my, oh, he fell a little bit because I moved it. I got my little dog friend on the tree. Oh, he needs a sweater vest. Yeah, I thought maybe the sweater vest makes him look a little bit like a shark for some reason. You know? Is that weird? Because then it's like, where does the armhole go? Yeah, let me know if you want me to add the vest. I will do it if there's enough community interest. I definitely want to make him look a little more festive, you know? Right now he just kind of looks like a whale. Normal whale. You can see 2 Christmas hats on the whale's tail. Oops. Yeah, or maybe like... Oh. Yeah. Cool. Well, while this is a great maybe like pause point for me to transition into sharing my video demo of how I put together these little tree toppers that you can print out and easily assemble using some simple household items. All you need is a color printer, or black and white is fine, tape, a chopstick or a skewer, glue, and scissors. So right now we're gonna just roll a quick demo video to share.
Here's how to make your holiday tree topper in a few simple steps. To start, you'll need these materials. 2 printouts, the front and back of the design that you've picked from the Creative Cloud folder under my name, Alice, tape or glue, scissors, and a stick like chopsticks or a wooden skewer. Step 1. Start by cutting out the illustration on both pages. Anything that is white negative space, you'll want to cut out. One trick that I like is to cut out the larger spaces first and then go in and snip out the little details after. You'll end up with 2 sides of the same illustration that line up when placed back to back, just like this. Next, take a piece of tape and form a double-sided loop with it. You can then align the 2 cut out sides of the illustration so that the shapes are aligned, and then use that piece of tape to adhere the top parts of the 2 pages together. You can then go through and snip out any overlapping parts of the illustration that aren't well aligned on both sides. Then you'll take your chopstick or skewer and tape it down onto the bottom of the tree topper. You'll want to adhere it on both sides. Tape is probably better for this than glue. Next, using small bits of tape or your glue, you can tape down the edges of the tree topper so that you get all of those side details down. You can do a final pass with your scissors to make sure that the edges are clean and aligned. And finally, it's time to put the topper on the tree. You can stick it on the top and wrap the branches around it so that it's securely fastened. Alternately, you can also put this topper on a windowsill as a decoration, on your walls, or even on your door as a piece of festive holiday decor. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays, everyone!
So I hope that was a helpful quick demo video of how to put together these tree toppers, and also in the file that you can find in the Adobe Live Holidays folder that you will download to get these assets. I've also put written instructions too. And definitely let me know in the chat if you have any questions about how I assembled it. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah. And then the fun part is then you can put these guys on top of your tree. Like so. Cool. So we've got Holiday Totoro up there. We've got our Starry Bear and then our Christmas puppy. So here I've put it in a potted plant. Oh, whoops. And I guess I could stick this bear on the side too. And you can also put them in your windows as well as maybe on your door if you want, or on your walls. It could just be general holiday decor if you don't have a tree, or if you, if you don't have a, don't celebrate Christmas. Wade says that I could add a thicker white outline like a sticker, and then the white edges won't be as noticeable and save some trimming. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. So if you don't want to cut out all the little details with your scissors, you could also just leave a little bit of gap. And I actually don't think that it's that noticeable, when you put it up on your tree, because it's far away from your eye. I think unless you have a very dark wall color, but you can see my wall behind me is white, so you don't really notice the imperfections in the way that I cut it. Oh, and I see a question from Whitney asking, what's the keyboard shortcut to move the artboard around as you draw the brush? So yeah, like Mercurial Forte said, they hold down the space bar and then you can move the drawing with your mouse. You can also do H, which is the hand button, and then you can just move it around with your mouse as well. And then to rotate the hotkey is R, like Mercurial said. So we are reaching, the end of our stream. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. We've got a really fun lineup of guests coming up for the rest of the day. We've got Kyle coming up next, right after this, drawing a coloring page that you can then print out and have some holiday fun coloring together with friends and kids with. And then Andrew Hawk is designing a holiday invite, and then Howard is animating holiday invites. So these are all helpful things. I think I will definitely be tuning in and downloading some of these assets myself. Thank you so much to everyone who joined, who shared their holiday treats. I will definitely be checking out the Swedish meals as well that were recommended. In terms of my whale illustration, I will probably put that up in the Adobe Live folder that Wade has been linking to by the end of the day. But the other three tree topper illustrations are already in there. So if you want to get started, feel free. Just tag me at @ByAliceLee, as well as hashtag Adobe Live Holidays. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe, and festive holiday break. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just hit me up at @ByAliceLee on social media. Happy to answer. And stay tuned for a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.